Good morning. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it's a short video on scholarships and financial aid. I'm Mr. Cackler. I'm the senior counselor here at Lansing High School. So we want to show you a little bit about and tell you a little bit about scholarships, how to find scholarships, and then a little bit about financial aid and the pieces of financial aid. To start off with, you basically have three ways to gain money to help pay for your college or technical school, art institute, whatever it is that you're headed towards next. Scholarships, which don't have to be paid back. Grants, which may or may not have to be paid back depending on the specifications of the grant. And then loans, which, just like any other loan, you're going to pay that back with interest. So by far, scholarships are your number one leading source that you want to use because most scholarships don't have to be paid back. Someone else is funding your education that way. So I want to show you how to get to the scholarships and financial aid page here at Lansing High School. Hopefully everybody is familiar with the USD 469 website. From here you have to pick schools and go to Lansing High School. And the page looks pretty similar. There's a menu across the top, but the choices have changed. The guidance area is underneath Student Services. So underneath Student Services, you will see Guidance Website. So if you'll click on the Guidance Website, it takes you to our home page. From here, I can quickly show you that we have a menu as well on the left-hand side of our screen. The first tab is Academic Information that has houses information about our courses and our credits and all those kind of things. The second tab is Student Resources. Sometimes we have students who would prefer not to share all of their business with their local guidance office, so Student Resources gives you a place to go where you can share your thoughts and feelings with an anonymous guidance office. Then we have the testing part for ACT, SAT, and PSAT testing. And then the fourth one down, scholarships and financial aid, we'll come back to in a second. We have a tab for college information, a tab for career and technical education, and a tab for the military information. So, and that's what's housed in each of those. So if you'll click on scholarships and financial aid, you will see that that page comes up, and we have financial aid on the bottom left hand side. There are several links you can use. You can find the FAFSA website, the FAFSA online help site, the Kansas Masonic Foundation, who has financial aid sources, Sallie Mae, American Legion, and then there are more helpful sites below with the student aid, findaid.org, FAFSA Forecaster, and then there's some debt websites as well. On the right side, you'll see a bunch of scholarship links. Each one of these links works differently in how they help you find scholarships or how they send your information to colleges to get those colleges interested in you and send you opportunities to get scholarships through their school. And I try to put a little blurb by each one of those so that you kind of have an idea how they work. But the page that gets used most is right here, and it says click here to search scholarships by their due date. This is the actual page of scholarships through Lansing High School. It's basically just an Excel spreadsheet. The thing I like about this website page is that it's listed by due date. I did that for a reason, because we tried it before other ways and they're much less successful. So the first thing you have to know about a scholarship is when it's due, because in scholarship world, the due date is the due date. It's not like home and school and maybe work where you show up late or you turn in an assignment late or those things. They don't care. If the due date's 2/7 and you turn it in on 2/8, they're probably going to throw it away, or they won't take it at all. So you got to make sure everything is done and where it's supposed to be by the due date. The next column is just the name of the scholarship. Gives you an idea of what group's behind it. Then we have the information column. This one's very important because this tells you who can fill it out and what are the general requirements for filling it out. And from there, then we have the application. Scholarship groups that have online applications or have websites have a link that you can click, so you can see this is an actual hyperlink here. And scholarships that have paper applications that have been sent to me get made into an attachment, so it'll tell you which attachment to see below. If you scroll to the bottom of our website here, you will see all the attachments listed by name in alphabetical order. As you can see right now on 2/8/17, there are a lot of scholarships open right now for our students. Some of them are local, some of them are national, some of them are regional. At this point in the school year, most of them are for seniors. However, you'll see right here, the Calvin Coolidge Scholarship is for juniors only. But most of them, you'll see it says seniors only. And we do have a 9 through 12th here. But then again, it's seniors only for quite a ways there. So that's how you use this page. To show you one example, let's say that you read the Bill Spaniel Memorial Scholarship here. You're a senior, and it's you for anyone attending vocational junior college or four-year school, and you fall into that category. First priority to students interested in studying environmental science. That's just what I want to do, so I go over here and I click the link. It takes me to, oh, and we got one that says page not found. So this sometimes happens. This is a good example of what can happen when you're trying to run a scholarship page. And so what I'll have to do is go back in and look at that link and see why it's not working. It should not have closed yet. So that's one more thing I get to do today to try to find out. So let's pick a different one. And you know, sometimes these scholarship groups, they're trying to be nice and have scholarships, and they may or may not have somebody who is good with technology running them, and things get messed up. Let's see. Let's go on down the list and see if we got somebody down here. I did this one the other day. So let's try the Kansas Masonic Foundation here. They have a bunch of scholarships. So here you can see it takes you to their website and their programs. And here are all the scholarships that the Kansas Masonic Foundation is ready to give away. There's a general scholarship for $1,000 if you're going to one of these schools. They have a legacy scholarship for $1,000 that you can apply for. The Cynthia Russell Scholarship for $5,000. The Technical and Community College Scholarship for $500. And if you look at some of these, I know last night I saw they're giving 10 or 25 of these different scholarships away. So the Kansas Masonic Essay Contest. And then they also have the Kansas All-State High School Marching Band for the East-West Shrine Bowl football game that they host. And there's a camp brochure and a $1,500 scholarship, $1,000 and a $500 through that band piece. So if you're interested in one of these, then you can hit the scholarship brochure or the application. This brochure is very handy. It gives you a lot of great information about each of their scholarships and what you have to do. The criteria right here. So for the technical or community junior college one, you got to be a Kansas resident, be attending one of the 7 identified technical colleges or one of the 19 Kansas community junior colleges, currently enrolled or accepted. So they want to know that you've been accepted to go there. You're going to have to enroll in 12 hours next year and demonstrate some financial need. While we're talking about financial need, don't let that scare you away all the time, because kind of what they do is they put students in order of, they'll look at all the applications and they'll either order them by the best person for the scholarship and down, or they'll list them basically just on financial need, but then they'll have a rating system of like who they would like to get it if it wasn't, you know, if there's more of a tie on the financial need. Sometimes kids with financial need don't apply, and so you may still get in on that scholarship. So, so you can see their brochure there, and then Kansas Board of Regents also has a scholarship that you can take a look at. And they have scholarships and grants. So remember, a grant is something you're probably going to have to pay back. Let me see if I can find, here's the Career Technical Workforce Grant. Let's see if we can find the information on here. So sometimes it'll tell you what you have to do to not pay the grant back, or it'll tell you, you know, how you're going to pay it back in that information. Sometimes, for example, if you do like the Kansas teacher grant, they'll pay for, you know, they'll give you the grant, and then if you go work in certain schools that you know, they're way away from the larger urban areas, and they need more teachers, or they're financially struggling. If you go and work there so many years, then you don't pay the grant back. So that's how some of those work. So that's kind of the scholarship thing. Let's go back to the financial aid piece. So one of the things you need to know about financial aid is, if you are planning to go to a junior college, a university, a technical school, even an art or culinary institute, more than likely you need to fill out the FAFSA. I know sometimes a lot of families think, well, we make too much money, we know we're not going to get any aid. That doesn't matter. You still need to do the FAFSA. That is a baseline for the school you're going to know where your family's at. And yes, maybe you won't have any financial need according to the formula that FAFSA uses. But if something changes between your freshman year and your sophomore year of college, there may be financial need. But if you didn't give them that FAFSA the first year, they don't see the change in your finances to know how much change there was. We hope that nothing bad happens and that your financial situation changes tremendously, where you go from having no need to having a large amount of need. But if it does, you want to make sure that you've taken you know, the right steps to have that help if you need it. So don't fall under that misconception of, well, we make too much money, so we don't need to fill out the FAFSA. Everybody who's going needs to fill out the FAFSA. And then from that point, you know, if you have other questions, your local colleges and universities, if you contact their financial aid offices, they're usually more than willing to answer your questions on financial aid. Unfortunately for us as high school counselors, we don't know a lot of that stuff because we don't deal with it. We go to try and help you get everything in order here, win those scholarships, get things set up, and then once you go to school, they take care of all the financial aid paperwork and that. So I think for the most part that covers scholarships and financial aid. That covers the guidance website and the scholarship page. Once again, thank you for joining us today, and hopefully this was helpful. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact the guidance department. Thank you.